back together.
That's what it is. It is.
Go.
That's the idea of. That's funny. That is the most important thing, is being together, stitching together, and really stitching together community.
Yeah.
Right. So a little bit of show and tell. You've already seen my silly britches, right? And one thing you can do is take a T-shirt, or you like the fabric maybe, and the texture and color, but it has some weird branding on it that you don't really want to. You don't want to advertise whatever that company is, or this event that happened 8 years ago, or whatever. So you can embellish a T-shirt. You can embellish jeans, really whatever you want to, or mend whatever you want to bring. So we'll have loads of fabric, and we will have sewing machines as well. And you can bring whatever project that you want to bring, or 2 or 3 to choose. Awesome. Right? Okay, great. Thank you.
And let's all say together, and so it is. All right, there it is. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $3 goodbye, as they used to say in the old vaudeville time. That's great. And so also talking about our bingo coming up on August 23rd. It's going to be right after service. So stick around, win some money, make some friends, win that $3 right back plus 10. All right, there you go. And so please join us, and that's an amazing event for all of us to build community. We all have fun. It's a lot of fun. And what more fun is it than to yell bingo and know you're a winner? That's like totally yes. All right, Alan. If Alan would come join us. Alan is one of our wonderful members that comes to meditation often and this center, and he runs a monthly haiku class. This is something that most people don't know. Haiku is, of course, the ancient Japanese form of metered poetry, and he's going to tell you a little bit about it because they meet once a month, and you're invited to come. This is another one of the offerings of the expansive ways that we're connecting with communities. So Alan's a tremendous human being, so I'd like to welcome him to the stage. Alan.
Thank you, Drew. I believe haiku is a spiritual practice, and I come to it from a question. Do miracles still happen? We read about miracles happening in the Bible and ancient times, but do they happen in this modern era? I thought about it and consider these. The miracle of a weed pushing its way up through asphalt, or the miracle of a baby chickadee out on a porch birdhouse, the miracle of the daily sunset, or the sun rising every morning. Haiku is the archive of these daily miracles. It's a way of looking at the world in wonder and archiving these. It expands my world in many positive ways. And if creativity is a gift, as I believe, the Center for Spiritual Living is giving us a gift because they open their doors for us every month. We meet downstairs the second Tuesday of the month at 6:30, and it's coming up next week. You would all be welcome. No experience needed. Haiku is a Japanese short form poetry. I have 3 examples from members of our group to give you an example. At the summit, I inhale the mountain I long to be. It's by Bill Fay. One by me. Rice in my bowl, green tea in my cup. What need have I for heaven? And finally, Jim DeLong, sitting back there with me, said, curled cat in her center, in herself. Final one, written by a member of our Sangha, or community, for the July thunder moon, which is the full moon in July. Lightning splits the sky, A lover's voice whispers thunderous words. Thank you.
Thanks. And next time someone says haiku, say bless you. No, I'm being a little glib, but I'm serious. That is a remarkable group. And again, one of the many offerings that we have. So we love to have members speak here. That's why we come up, because we hear and listen and connect and share. This is not a one-person show. This is our community. It's you. It's all of us. And Jeremiah, who is Tracy's son, he's sitting right over there, wants to come up and say a couple words, because he found something transformative through our center and this practice and the practices of mindfulness that have changed his life. So Jeremiah, come on up, and he just wants to share a little bit about his journey.
Good morning. I'm going to give you guys a phrase that I have embodied the last few months. It's a great day to have a great day. It really is. So the next few minutes, I just want to speak about compassion, kindness, and clarity, something that I never really had until about 10 months ago once I started meditating. So it's going to get deep real quick, so be prepared. 10 months ago, I came in here. As I stated last time, I was very lost, struggling greatly, and I meditated, and it felt really, really, really good. So having an extremely fast mind, I have that chaotic ADHD mind that just never, ever stops. Once I started meditating, it got very clear very fast, something I have never in my life felt before, and it felt really, really good. And I found something out of that I really didn't expect to gain, and that was I felt very vulnerable. And I felt very able to express how I feel, my issues. So after meditation was over, everybody cleared out, and I decided to stay behind and speak with Drew. And for the first time in my life, I felt vulnerable and clear enough to be able to express some of the things that I've gone through. So I stayed behind and spoke to a man that I'd known for about 17 minutes, give or take. And I told him that my entire life, ever since I was about 10 years old, I had suicidal tendencies. And that was something I was never able to say out loud to one person, let alone a room full of people. And you know what? I learned that was okay. And I said to Drew, I said, I guess there's strength in the fact that I've never done it. And Drew said something back to me that was probably single-handedly the most important thing somebody had ever said to me. And he said, no, don't guess there is strength. There is strength. So, I didn't really understand the magnitude of that one comment until a few months later. It just kept weighing on me, in a good way. And so, I continued meditation, and I found a massive amount of peace and clarity within myself over the next few months, just over and over and over and over and over. So as it says on the sign out front, when you get that clarity within yourself, you can create a world that works much better for everybody. You really, really can. Once you open your mind, your heart, your soul to be able to be there for your neighbor, we don't have to be strangers anymore. And we can, in fact, speak openly about our issues, and we can create more clarity within ourselves and compassion and kindness for other people. We can help each other. We can, in fact, stitch it all together. So, as I found this clarity within myself, I've come across some people just randomly throughout random days that need help. I was doing some grocery shopping the other day. I ask everybody how they're doing. It's just how I am. I'll talk to the wall if it'll talk back. It's how I am. And I asked the woman how she was doing. She said, I'm having a really hard day. And I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's going on? And she said, my husband just passed away. And I said, wow, that's really hard. She said, I need a hug. And I said, that's great. I can do that. And we hugged in the middle of the grocery store. And she goes, wow, I feel much happier now. And she goes, I never knew I had to come to the grocery store for therapy, but here we are. Aisle 5. It was actually pretty close to aisle 5. So, I encountered something a couple months before that. Drew and I have spoken about this. This one's heavy as well. I was riding on the train, and a woman randomly started screaming, crying out of nowhere. The entire train is silent. This woman starts screaming. And she had gotten a phone call that her son had just passed away at 22 years old. He wasn't feeling well that morning. He did not attend school, and he passed away with 0 warning signs, it seemed. So I sat down next to the woman. She's screaming and crying as everybody else stayed in their phones and didn't lift their head. I sat next to her and asked her if there was anything I could do, and she said, yeah, I really need a hug. And I said, okay. And we hugged for what felt like 1,700 minutes. It was probably less. But so the woman got to her stop, she got off, and I'll probably never see her again. But in that moment, I was able to be there for her, and that makes me very, very happy. So the last story I'm going to tell you about in this subject is that I was getting on the bus a few months ago, right after all this. And as I was getting on, there was a guy talking to the driver. He said, I'm tired of my life, tired of the way I'm living. I want to do better. And as I was getting on the bus, I said, great, sit down, let's talk about it. So as we sat down, the guy told me he'd gotten out of prison that day. He told me about his life, lots of gang affiliation, drugs, some other things. But he decided he wanted to change. I said, great, let's talk about it. I told him about my journey, how I've gained a lot of clarity within myself, peace, happiness. And he said, wow, that sounds great. So I talked to the guy every other week, roughly. And he's been meditating. He's been doing much, much better. But he told me a story the other day about how he was in Philly. And the way he described it is he came across one of his enemies from a rival gang from before he had gone to prison. He said they saw each other on the street, and he said, they were going to have a confrontation right then and there, no words. And he said as he was approaching this man, he said he felt something completely different, and he was grounded. He wasn't just fueled by hate. As he looked around, he said he noticed this little girl standing on the side of the street, and he decided in that moment that he wanted to be a better man, and he didn't want to see some random girl in Philadelphia watch these two guys fight in the middle of the street for no reason. He wanted that little girl to keep her peace. So he actually just apologized to the guy who he's hated for 10 years probably, and they told each other that they weren't enemies anymore, and they were going to move on and live their lives happier. So I said earlier, that we do a really good job at minimizing our accomplishments and magnifying things that we do wrong. So I can stand in front of you today for the first time in my life, and I can tell you that I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I'm becoming, and I am definitely proud of the compassion and support that I am able to give to others. They say in this world, you hear it a lot, that one person can't make a difference. I'm telling you right now, the power of compassion, mindfulness, and positivity can carry this world much stronger than anything else we can ever imagine. And trust me, that energy is beyond contagious. I've never had a massive amount of faith in my life. As I was younger and I had all this difficulty within myself, it was just a hard thing for me to grasp. How can something exist that's greater than me when me is so unhappy? It was a really hard thing for me to grasp. But I'm telling you, as I've opened my mind, heart, and my soul, and I've had a lot more people gravitating towards me who need this help that I'm now able to provide for them. Is that a coincidence that these people are just gravitating towards me when I'm able to help them? Probably not. I'll leave that up to you to decide, though. Thank you.
Awesome. Take a deep breath in. And that's what we call a demonstration. Demonstration is the word we use in our movement to say that we can see lives changing before our very eyes. And it can come through sewing, it can come through mindfulness, it can come through haiku, it can come through connecting, it can come through whatever way you want it to, but let's let it come. The quote I wanted to share with you from that really touched on it beautifully was, "You cannot do a kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late." So let's hear some beautiful music. We have Rachelle, who's just phenomenal, and Christina, and they're gonna come and, oh no, first is Benny, sorry. First is Benny. First is Benny, our incomparable Benny, to lead us through a moment to center and gather and really have an experience together. Benny, thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. So I think that Jeremy really said our prayer already. Thank you so much for your share, and thank you for the music. So let us take a deep breath and feel that breath going all the way down to the very base of your being. And let it fill you up. Each breath deepening, each breath opening. And from this place, I know that there is that source, that love, that power, that wisdom that is present everywhere and nothing escapes it. All are in. Whether it be planets, whether it be individuals, whether it be blades of grass or clouds or comets racing overhead, all are in. All are in this love, all are in this wisdom and this power and so much more. Opening all beings into that wholeness, into that love, into that peace. That is your birthright. And at this time, I know that kindness is everywhere. It's already inside of you. And we open the doors and let it out. Let it become who you are. You're so much more than that also, but you're also that kindness. And I know during this service we will hear everything we need to hear, that it will touch us deeply, because it's the wisdom that resides within us already. We just need a reminder. And I open into that wholeness, into that love, into that peace, and invite all to do the same. And I release it and let it go into the arms of God, who always says yes. And so it is.
When we were doing meditation and he let out his little song, we went to the Mariners game last night. Go Mariners, we won. That's what he sounded like during the national anthem too. So I think we have a singer on our hands. Wonder where he gets that from.
Here's the one thing that I want you to know. You've got some place to go. Life's a test, yes, but you go toe to toe. You don't give up, no, you grow. And you use your pain, 'cause it makes you you. Though I wish I could hold you through it. I know it's not the same, you've got living to do, and I want you to do it. So get up, get out, relight that spark. You know the rest by heart. Wake up, if it's all you do. Look up, look inside of you. It's not what you lost, it's what you're getting. Raising your voice to the rain. Wake up your dreams and make it true. Look out, look inside of you. It's not what you lost. Relight that spark, time to come out of the dark. Wake up. Wake up. Better wake those demons. Just look them in the eye. No reason not to try. Life can be a mess. I won't let it cloud my mind. I'll let my fingers fly. And I use the pain 'cause it's part of me. And I'm ready to power through it. I'm gonna find the strength, find the melody. 'Cause you showed me how to do it. Get up, get out, relight that spark. You know the rest by heart. Wake up, if it's all you do. Look up, look inside of you. It's not what you lost, it's what you're getting. Raising your voice to rain. Wake up your dreams and make it true. Look up, look inside of you. It's not what you lost. Realize that's my time to come
So I have a reading this time from Sharon Salzberg's book, A Heart as Wide as the World. I'm going to do a very short reading and then a very short meditation as the example. Loving kindness, or metta, is one of the main meditation practices in the Buddhist tradition. It is a practice that involves offering a sense of loving kindness first to oneself, and then extending this offering to loved ones, friends, acquaintances, difficult people, and ultimately to all beings everywhere. So we're going to do a little practice, very short. Just a teaser about what loving kindness is and how it makes you feel inside. So if you want to let your eyes close, that's fine. If not, you can leave them open. That's fine. And just breathe for a moment. And I'll say a phrase, and if you're inclined to repeat it to yourself, go ahead and do that. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I feel love all through me. May I feel kindness coming directly from my heart. May I be happy. May I know great love. Just take those words in and just be with that sense of loving kindness, giving it first to yourself, and the practice goes on, giving it to a loved one, and then giving it to someone you have difficulty with, and then giving it to everyone around you, and then giving it to the world. So may all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Thank you.
One of the many grandmas in the room took the baby.
I met a prophet, dark as the night. She could see to my soul. Said she'd been watching and had some advice. She said shadows make you whole. A life without pain is a wolf in sheep's clothes. 'Cause if you listen to the lessons that it holds, you'll find the gold. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. I can remember when I was a child, finally understand that there is no such thing as perfect. We're all simply doing the best that we can, and we have a choice to live or truly be alive. This is your life, child. It's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the child. It's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. A bird cannot fly until it breaks the shell. Do with these words what you will. It's time for us to be for real. You'll be stuck on the ground until you finally break the shell.
Wow. Do we have some musical talent here or what? Can we hear it for Benny and Rachelle and Christina one more time? Man, they bring the kindness with their music. Wait, is that the theme for today? Huh? I can't believe I just said that. No, I'm just kidding. So kindness. We hear it all the time. We see it on bumper stickers and posters that cats are on, like kind kitty and all that stuff. And that's all lovely and wonderful. But I'm going to talk about the depth of kindness today. The power and the source of kindness today. It's the quiet revolution. And it's who we are. It's who we are for sure. So what is it? All right, so let's just start with a little exercise for fun. Close your eyes, if you would. And think back to a time when someone was kind to you. Maybe something big, maybe something small. Remember an act of kindness that you felt. Bring it to heart and mind and notice how it makes you feel. Maybe you're smiling. Maybe you're tearing up a little bit. Maybe you're touched or moved in a powerful way. That is the might of kindness. And right now in this room, just this memory shifted something in you. It's biochemistry. It's spirit alive in you right now. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. So what does that feel like? What do you feel like right now? Can you sense that? Nothing changed empirically in the world. You changed. Therefore, the universe can change. You think and feel that. So today we're gonna walk through a couple of what this is, the kindness that this is for all of us. And it's more than we can imagine. The origin of the word kindness, the operative origin is kin, which means family. Okay? So kindness meant from treating others like family. And for any of those of you who aren't necessarily super happy about your chosen family or your given family, make it to your chosen family right here, right? Make it the awareness that we can treat people as our family, no matter where we are. So it's love in action, okay? It's everything that we think about is spirit embodied in what we do. Remember, our whole realization is that spirit isn't out there somewhere. It's not something we pray to or hope for or dream of. It's something that's in us right now, living vitally in who we are with everything we do. And it doesn't really matter. It's not like it's some perfect thing. It's got to be some blissful state. It's got to be seeing stars and angels and unicorns and bags of donuts falling from the sky. Although, yeah, we catch them if they come. It's about the embodiment of what we do and how we live through this wonderful, terrible, beautiful, awful, gorgeous life. And kindness is the thread that pulls us through. It must be authentic, like we show here, and it nourishes your soul. It's vulnerable, it's real, it's present in every possible way. And I want to mention there are many traditions, all the wisdom traditions talk about this. In Buddhism, there's the 4 Brahma Viharas. And the Brahma Viharas are the sacred dwelling places of our heart. They're the places that we want to live in all the time, right? And the first one, the baseline, is loving kindness. That's it. That's the base of it all. The other ones are compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity as they go up. But for today, we're talking about the foundational concept of kindness in action. And those Brahma Viharas talk about how we live those and become those. We don't just think them and wish them into being. It's simple, it's powerful, it's transformative. So who knows the movie Field of Dreams? All right, who has yet to see Field of Dreams? Okay, go see it. All right, now, so it's a classic movie, baseball, guys in Iowa. I don't want to, well, I'm going to ruin it for you. So if you don't want me to ruin it, go, no. But here we go. Spoiler, but it's this incredible journey of someone following spirit and following the voice of spirit. And he plows under his cornfield, he builds his baseball field, right? It's amazing, it's phenomenal. He goes on these amazing journeys. Think about where he went, right? He goes to Boston and he meets an old writer, and they go to another place and they pick up a ball player who's transformed, and all this like magical, mystical stuff. And these guys come out of the cornfield to play baseball with them, and they're phenomenal. They sit there and watch, and it's a dream, and it's amazing, and it's phenomenal. And yet, at the end, he had an estranged relationship with his father that he had not healed. And in that moment of all this wonderful stuff that went on, all this incredible goings on of everything, in that moment, in the final moment of the film, when his dad is left on the baseball field and he's coming back to greet him, and he says to his father, "Hey, Dad, do you want to have a catch?" And his father says, "I love that." And I saw it in a theater full of men, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house. He said, "Do you want to have a catch, Dad?" The whole purpose was to heal and connect with his father so that he could feel that grace and kindness again. And out of the whole movie, on all these wild adventures that we go on, it was that single clear act of kindness which was transcendent and moved everyone to tears. One single act of kindness. Kindness is more powerful than all the wild explosions of stars and all the great things that we do all the time and all the ways that we live these lives of adventures and roller coasters and rides. It's kindness. It's kindness, kindness, kindness. Kin, family, one. That's what we're doing here. That's what you're doing here. That's why this is growing. Do you see how you offering kindness unequivocally to Jeremiah, to all the other people that come up, and they give it back to you? It's reciprocal. That flow of kindness it's a life-giving. So give life and give kindness. Developmental psychologists have said that at 18 months, a child will, without even thinking, bend down to pick something up that someone's dropped and hand it back to them. We're born with this. Without language, without culture, without teaching, that child just... Right? Can you feel that? Hey, India, can you lower me just a little bit? I don't want to be too loud. Am I a little loud? I think I'm lowering my voice because I want to yell. I want to shout about kindness from the mountaintops. Is that a little bit better? Yes. Is that okay? All right. That's good. All right. Thank you. That was very kind of you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Kindness, kindness, kindness. In the end, as Jewel, the singer from about a couple of decades ago, says in her song Hands, in the end, only kindness matters. In the end, only kindness matters. And I happen to believe that. I happen to believe that with all my heart. Right? So why is this so important? All right, so we're going to talk about, for our scientist, I always look at Ronald. He's our resident scientist. He's the man that puts a little nameplate on his seats and no one else can take it. He's a scientist. He's like, this is mine. I will sit right here. Because it's bringing our destiny to life. There's a lot of evidence, and it's pretty staggering. So I'll try to get through some of it here. Let's start with the giver. Okay, the giver of kindness. When you perform an act of kindness, your brain releases a trio of chemicals. Serotonin, which makes you feel calmer and more content. Dopamine, which gives you a rush, a reward. And oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This is the same chemical that flows through a mother when she holds a newborn child. Right? That bonding chemical. It's real and it's measurable. And the remarkable part is it doesn't go away after one act. It stays with you. A 2017 study found that people who performed deliberate acts of kindness over 10 weeks saw their happiness scores increase by 25%, and their depression symptoms fall by 15%. Not from therapy, not from medication, from choosing 10 weeks in a row to do something kind every single day. The American Psychological Association confirmed that acts of kindness toward others outperform almost any sort of therapeutic intervention, reducing anxiety and depression significantly. Right? Isn't that so cool? I was jacked when I read that. I'm like, yeah, man, kindness is medicine. Now let's look at the receiver, okay? So that's the giver. Here's the receiver, the other side. When someone is kind to you, your own oxytocin levels rise. Your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows, and research published in Frontiers found that the cardiovascular system literally recovers from stress when a kind act is involved. We're talking about measurable psychological change, physiological change. When you're talking about spirit in action. See, this is what I want you to see. It's not some grand thing. You are enacting the very thing that created you in this universe. You're connecting with it in a profound way. Simple, easy, clean. You're plugged into your source. When you ever wonder, where's my source? It's in your very hands. It's how you behave, it's how you act, it's how you think, it's how you talk. That's what it is. That is spirit in action. That's the revolution right there. Okay, then there's something even more astounding. You ready for this one? Let's look at the witness. Those that witness kindness, okay? Researchers found that observing a single act of kindness increases the likelihood the observer will perform an act of kindness by over 15%. And witnessing kindness activates the reward centers of your brain more powerfully than experiencing personal gain. You get more out of watching someone else be kind than you do out of winning something. Isn't that wild? If I watch someone be kind to someone else, right? Something happens to me that's more significant than me getting something for myself. If that's not evidence that we're all connected, hit me with a hammer, knock me over right now. I'm serious. That is so connected. My golly. And it doesn't stop there. Researchers found that 85% of people reported being more inclined to do kind acts for others when they witnessed or received kindness themselves. 85% more. This ripple keeps moving. This warm feeling is the genesis of life itself. That's how we create a world of thriving in harmony. It's that small, incremental acts of kindness all the time. And one of the extraordinary effects has been that it's contagious, demonstratively contagious. So communities with higher rates of pro-social kind behavior, places where neighbors help neighbors, where strangers are acknowledged, where giving is normalized, these communities show 12% lower crime rates, 30% higher trust rates between neighbors. People live longer, get less sick, recover faster from surgeries and illnesses. In couples where mutual kindness predicts relationship satisfaction 33% higher than couples who don't practice it. In workplaces, kindness cultures produce 20% higher employee retention. And in schools, this is the one that really touched me. Kindness curricula improves peer acceptance for shy and lonely kids by nearly 30%. People do what they're taught and what the expectations are. People realize what the expectations are when you connect it to the why. The why is kindness is the power and the creation of the universe itself. Full stop. That's it. All the other stuff you do is so beautiful and wonderful, and do it. But kindness, do it always. So none of this is naive or foolish or simple. One of the reasons that people invest in it often is because it gets a rap like it's weak, or it's too simple, or it's nice, or it's just a little extra. Well, I'm going to say right now, bullshit. It's not. It's foundational, and it is powerful beyond measure, like water, soft, elegant, graceful, but it can shape mountains. It's the strongest force known on this planet and in the universe. So, again, it's why we're here. So the math of kindness, let's do the math. The math of kindness is not addition, it's multiplication. It's multiplication. This is how we consciously create. And again, this is what you're doing right now at CSL Tacoma. You are math wizards of kindness. You are multiplying kindness for our world right now. I know my wife is happy because she teaches math. Where is she? CJ? She's smiling right now. Okay, she's somewhere. Oh, there she is, hiding in the corner. So kindness is the act of choosing well-being over convenience, right? Give and receive is critical. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how. Got to give and receive, as we heard in the data, right? We can think about giving kindness. It's easy. I can smile. I can see. I can open doors. I can help. I can take meals to friends when they need it. I can notice something that someone needs a little assistance with. But receiving is equally important. Because if I have a birthday gift for you and I give it to you, say, AKA kindness, and you go, oh, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. What's that do? It just breaks the cycle. And you make the person that bought the gift, I'm like, I bought the gift, I don't have the receipt anymore, I can't take it back, what am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna sell it at a yard sale maybe to benefit CSL, I'm just saying. Could do that, but you must receive the gift because that's an equally important part of any kindness. And you're giving that person a sense of purpose by receiving that kindness. You're allowing them to live into their own destiny by giving and receiving in equal parts. Very important. I know when I was in the hospital with a brain tumor, people showed me ridiculous amounts of kindness. Helping me get up, helping me and my family eat a meal. My wife showed me just stupid amounts of kindness, ridiculous amounts of kindness that I will never forget. And if I wasn't loyal to her before, which I was, I'm like triple it right now. Like wild horses couldn't pull me away. But that's the bonding that it does. That's the bonding you're having here in that sense of kindness, the good that it does, the wonders that it creates. This is a story from a cancer patient in Florida. The physician, Dr. Basha, wrote this. And this is what I want you to hear also about what kindness can do for your purpose and your energy. He had a patient named Jimmy, and Jimmy had received advanced cancer care, was terminal. By any reasonable measure, he was the one who deserved to be receiving kindness, receiving comfort, receiving help. One afternoon, Dr. Basha drove his car and passed a stalled car by the side of the road, and to his surprise, he saw Jimmy underneath the car. His terminal patient was lying on the ground beneath some stranger's car. And so he pulled over and he got out and said, Jimmy, what are you doing? And Jimmy stood up, dusted himself off, and he said, Doc, I won't let cancer tell me that I can't help others. said, I won't let cancer tell me that I can't help someone else. And with that, Jimmy gestured that the guy get back in his car. The engine started. And the guy was like waving and smiling as he drove off. Jimmy got back in his own car and waved at the doctor and shouted out, I'll see you soon, Doc. But even sooner if you break down and I have to rescue you on the side of the road. Then with a huge smile, he drove off, leaving Dr. Bosher to marvel at what he just witnessed. The energy that kindness provided him. He had no earthly business by any measure of getting down on the ground. It was so tough for him to do that. But he felt that surge of energy. It helped him to overcome his pain, to remember his purpose, and to maximize the precious time that he had left on this planet by loving and kindly treating the person in front of him. Take a deep breath in. You don't have to be healed to help others heal. You don't have to be whole to make someone else feel whole. It's not about coming from a place of perfection. So the first point is look up and pay attention. This is very important. See where you are and see what's happening in front of you. The most common form of modern unkindness is not cruelty, it's invisibility. We're moving through the world with our eyes down, our earbuds in, our minds somewhere else. The checkout clerk, the security guard, the colleague, they always seem fine. You're there. Look up and see them. Make eye contact. Say their name if you know it. Ask something real. Connect with them. The research again says that that feeling seen is one of the most powerful emotional experiences available to us, and you can give that for free. I remember I was director of development at a homeless organization here, and as I would talk to the people, they would say, you know, it's really wonderful to get a bed and some food and a shower, but they say more powerful than all that is when someone sees me. That's love in action. That's all it is. Just seeing them. Good morning. How are you? I know I passed a guy down here, and he was like, hey, he's having a rough time. And, you know, at first you may have a tendency to look away, but I looked right at him and said, how are you doing? And he just stopped and he goes, I'm not doing too bad. I said, that's wonderful. You look good. He goes, I do? He straightened right up. And he went on, and he was faster than me with the walker. He passed me. He had twice the speed. Kindness gave him that energy. Kindness gave him that energy. And the second is make it a practice. It's not a mood. It's more than a feeling. It's a decision. Set a small intention each morning, one deliberate act of kindness today. It doesn't have to be dramatic. A text, a compliment you thought you didn't have to say, letting someone go first, paying for the coffee behind you, write it on a sticky note, make it a habit. Research shows that making kindness habitual produces 32% higherness happiness trajectory in your life over 5 years. Right? I can't get 32% on my money. But I get a 32% return on happiness. And that's not selfish, that's selfless. Because the better you are and the better you feel from doing this, the more you have for yourself and the more you have to give it again. It's just like spiraling up. It just keeps going up. And you keep riding that spiral right with it. So you'll sow seeds that you don't even know will happen. And what can happen at the end of your life is you get to walk back through a forest of trees that you've planted with kindness. And that forest is a dream to walk through. You may never know or see. I remember that I was in Starbucks, and I was in a business meeting, and a young woman came, and she was over in the corner, and she just put her head down on the table like this and put her hood over her. And it doesn't take a scientist to realize, or psychologist to know that person was hurting, because no one does that unless they're in pain. And I went to the meeting, but my eye was drawn occasionally to this person. And I reached in my bag and pulled out a card around a little message inside that says, "You are loved always, even if you may not know it or feel it. You are loved always." And it had a little stone around mindfulness to put with it. And all I did was simply go over and quietly put that by her head with a little stone and left. Now I think about that today. And I think about it not from the result or trying to think of doing something, but I think about it because maybe that person saw that and maybe it changed in that moment. Maybe that was the spark of hope in one simple, small gesture that let them move their life into a realization of the blessing that it was. I don't know, and it's not my job to know. It's my job to one day walk through the forest of trees that I've planted with loving kindness, that you're all planting in your life. That forest is cool, clean, gorgeous. That forest is heaven. You're making heaven on earth with your kindness. So you want to make it a habit and a practice always. You want to do it for everyone you meet everywhere. And the other thing I want to say about making it a habit is when it becomes that way, you start to change inevitably how you see yourself in the world and everyone around you. The other part of it is that, and this may be the hardest one of all, extending kindness to people who haven't earned it in your mind. Because here's the truth. It's easy to be kind to people who are kind to you back, right? I mean, come on. This is the easiest place to show kindness in the world, right? We're like, I like you. Hey! We're like, ah. It's super easy. But what about the people that it's not easy? And the power of kindness can move in any direction, toward a difficult coworker, a rude stranger who snapped at you, toward yourself. And this is also important. I'll come back to that. Toward yourself. Those acts, those uncomfortable ones, are the ones that help rewire your brain. And they cause a ripple effect even stronger. So you don't have to like them to be kind to them. You're staying curious and out of judgment. You're changing the way you think. So here's another quick story. There was a prisoner. This came from a psychologist who had worked with a prisoner on reframing mindsets. And this prisoner had gone to prison, and his wife, about a year in, said, "I can't do this. I want to divorce you. You're an awful man. We're not going to be together anymore. I don't want any part of you." Now, the guy wasn't a violent criminal or hadn't done anything negative or abusive toward her. They had a pretty loving relationship. He committed some other kind of monetary crimes. But she was like, "You're out." And he was angry that she didn't stick with him, even in this difficult time. Knowing his own responsibility, but knowing that it's about love and forgiveness too. And he was so furious. And she stopped talking to him for like 6 months, no contact. He tried, to reach out, but then he was angry. So the psychologist said, "We're going to change the dynamic in you because you can't change her. So you're going to, every time you think of her and you get angry, you're going to shift that to one of your best memories when you were together, time you shared love or care, and you're going to hold on to that memory." And he did it, and he did it, and he did it over months. He kept shifting and kept shifting. And the first thing the psychologist noted was he felt better. That was the first thing, he felt better. And then, out of the blue, after 3 months, the wife called him without any contact and said, "I want to get back together. I want to forgive you and help you become a better man and rekindle our relationship." Now, I can't definitively say it was because of the prayers and thoughts and thinking of her kindly, but I can absolutely believe and affirm that that's why it happened. In my heart, that was a transformational move right there. So when you have that unkindness or resentment in your heart for anything and anyone, change it. Now, it doesn't mean you don't have healthy boundaries, because you do. You're not going to be a doormat for someone. That's not kindness. Kindness is not just being nice or placating or people-pleasing at all. In fact, people-pleasing itself is a very selfish act. Why? Because you're not really trying to make the person happy. You're trying to get approval from them because you don't have a sense of self-worth. So I'm pleasing someone so that they'll say I'm good enough, and it's an addictive cycle. I got to please them and please them and please them and please them and get their feeling of approval so I can feel good. Kindness is a selfless act of caring and compassion for yourself or others. And it's actually altruistic, right? When I talked about this sense of being kind to yourself, how you talk to yourself may be one of the most important things that you ever do in this life. So I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to show up with a sense of compassion and care. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to be gentle with myself. Because that unkindness can often start with the way we talk to ourselves. Catch yourself sometimes in how you talk to yourself. Look at the words you might use. Idiot, fool, stupid, dumb. Why did I do that? I'm a lemon. I'm a bad person. I'm not good looking. I'm not whatever. Change that story and change your life. Okay. So we want to move from being reactive to responsive. Kindness is responsive. And I like to call it kindfulness. Right? I'm sure someone else called that before me, but I'm going to stand here and say, I thought of that. Kindfulness, even though I didn't. So it's really understanding what that is. So for a second, to understand kindfulness and how we demonstrate it to another and how simple it is, let's do our greeting time. And let's to each person say, I see you, and I'm glad you're here. So let's take a minute and feel what kindness in action feels like. I see you, and I'm glad you're here. I love you. I love you. I love you, brother. I see you, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. I really see you, and I'm really glad you're here. You have no idea. You're so... Oh my God. Let's come back. Let's come back. Let's come back. You continue to set the potluck. I see you, and I'm glad you're here. All right, let's come back. Let's come back. All right, let's come back. Let's come back. Come on back. Come on back. All right. So take a deep breath in. That's kindfulness. That's your plugging right into the source right there. And you can do it all the time. Just saying. So I'm going to close out with a couple of really quick pieces here to move on with, okay? Take another deep breath in. And remember and imagine that time when someone showed you kindness and how it made you feel and how it lives on. It lives on in the echoes of the universe for all time. It's eternal. It's eternal. So I'm going to read a little poem by Naomi Shihab Nye. And this is a wonderful poem because I don't want to forget that kindness has a depth to it. So I want you to hear this as you realize your own life is on a trajectory toward deep spiritual kindness, a personal revolution. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go. So you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you. How he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. And then, and only then, is it kindness that makes sense anymore. It's only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. It's only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it is I you have been looking for. And then it goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. It goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. So all the stuff you've gone through that's difficult and challenging, all it did was hollow you out for your capacity for kindness. That's it. It made you incredibly, powerfully, demonstratively kind. So as you go forth today, I want you to look, pay attention, make it a habit, make it the very fiber of your being so that you would become kindness, you embody kindness at the deepest possible level. Today, you get to do that just like someone has done it for you and pay it forward. Leo Buscaglia said it beautifully. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. Indeed, it may be the only thing that ever has. So in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Be mighty kind. Love you and bless you. Okay, so we're going to have our greeters. This is where I feel like I'm like taking off one hat and putting another. I'm like, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Where our greeters come forward. And I want you to put kindness in the plate today, wherever you go. And let's say our blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With infinite gratitude, so it is. Thank you for your generosity. It's super kind. Thank you very much.
Let's just take all of this in. All the kind words, all the kind feelings, all the beautiful music, all the support that has made this service possible. And most of that is you. Each one of you have contributed with your energy, with your love, in so many ways. And I know in this moment that there one source where all the kindness, all the love is, but it's been distributed throughout the entire universe. And everyone gets 100% of it because one is not indivisible. And I am grateful. I am so grateful to be here today, to speak these words, to know the power and the love that exists everywhere, in each person, in the blades of grass, in the clouds overhead, and beyond anything I can see and know and feel. And with this, I release it in gratitude for all that has happened today, all that has happened every day. And so it is.
Please rise as you are able and sing the peace song with us.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Yeah! Let's start the kindness revolution. Go!